My name is Helen Frazier. I am a journalism student. I'm a senior. My pronouns are she, her. Being a part of the queer community means to me, just like a family. I think that it's wonderful to have something in common with people. Just by you hearing that they're queer in some way, you automatically have like a connection with them, which I find really special. My advice to my younger self would definitely be not to be afraid. I think that growing up can be kind of hard if you know you're different and you're not like ready to tell anyone just yet. So to my younger self, I would definitely say that you're gonna be okay. You're going to go to a place that is very accepting. You're gonna find your community here, and you're gonna find people that are gonna be your best friends. So not to be afraid. But then to anyone else who's kind of either questioning, struggling, or in any part of their like coming out journey, that you're loved.
My name's Chris Daley, and I am the Assistant Dean for Campus Life, so I work in the Campus Life office at Emerson. I think to be queer, I think queer folks seek out other queer folks for a sense of community because they're not always getting it from their families of origin or their communities of origin. And that's always been a really important and fun part, that you get to kind of build your own family and build your own community. We'll have parents come up and say, hey, my son or daughter or student, my child is, they're gay or they're trans or they're whatever. Are they gonna be okay in Emerson? And I'm always like, oh, honey, you found your way to the right place. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be fine. They're gonna find a real sense of community here. Pride is about, for me, coming into knowing that you are okay as you are, and just that you can be proud about who you are, I mean, I think it's about a lot of self-repair internally and deciding you're gonna take up space as who you are, if you want to.
My name is Cassandra Masonette. I use she, her pronouns. I am in the class of 2023 as a journalism major. Emerson was the first space that I felt absolutely comfortable with being queer. Even at home, in my community college, high school, not so much. And I didn't realize how many queer students we have here, which is a lot. And I think it's helped me be so okay with myself and express myself and say things and be a part of activities or events that I normally wouldn't do if I was back at home. And so Emerson is just a space where I feel has helped me grow.
Hi, I'm Anthony Rodriguez. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I work in the Office of Student Success as their assistant director. Being a part of the queer community now is still a little scary because of the political climate we're in, and in some states, being myself could be considered illegal, but that makes me even more proud to be part of the queer community, to fight for my own rights and the rights of others, especially for the trans people in this community who I love and hold dearly, as I have a lot of trans folks in my life, and I am always saddened to see these new bills come out that are actively trying to suppress them. And as an ally to them, even though we're kind of in the same community, I don't have their same experiences. I still want to be by their side and be able to fight for them, to be able to live as they are, because that's really what we all deserve. Being in the queer community at Emerson and being so queer friendly here, I felt like I didn't need to hide any part of myself, even if it was just a small, tiny detail. Everyone was so accepting, regardless of who I was, where I came from, and sort of how I got to my queer identity, and also being kind of a safe space for others to let me know how they feel about their own identities, and sometimes even have come out to me as like one of the first people. So being that support system has always been very cool. I think it means everything. It means celebration, it means protest, it means liberation, it means just being gay, honestly. Just being yourself, even if you don't fully know where you are, you can be proud in any part of your identity, even if it's still to yourself.
My name is Alex Quigley. I use she, her pronouns, and I recently also started using they, fair pronouns. I'm a VMA major and my graduation year is 2025. A plain black ring on the middle finger of your right hand means that you are asexual, and a plain white ring on the middle finger of your left hand means that you're aromantic. Comforting, I guess, just to know that there are other people like me in the world, knowing that there's like a label for it and people have gone through the same things as me.
My name is Daley Foster. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm the Associate Director for Student Conduct in the Office of Campus Life. I think to me, being a member of the queer community is being a member of something that like stands for something. I think when you're in the queer community, there's a reason we call it community. I think you have this shared experience, but it's so disparate amongst people and amongst identities, but we all share something in common. We all have something that we can identify with in somebody else's experience. But I think it also, in that community, calls for that difference in our experiences and calls for us to have those conversations that transcend our gender or our sexual orientation or our identities, and talk about, race and ability and all this other stuff, because that's what a community does. And I think pride to me means those things. It wasn't very long ago that there was not only still some of that fear of being who you were, but there were literal laws that people could point to of here's why you don't matter. And I think pride to me is like a continuation of that, and of what was happening even pre-Stonewall, and all of the things that were happening in that. Pride means bringing all of that to the forefront and celebrating where we are, but always remembering where we came from.
Hi, I'm Clara. I'm class of 2023. I'm a theater and performance major. Queer community at Emerson is unlike anything else I can imagine. It feels celebratory and full of joy and full of so many different kinds of people every single day, and no matter where you are. No matter what space I'm walking into, I know I'm gonna find someone else who's part of that community or who celebrates that community with me. I think pride means being unafraid. It means being out and proud and talking about who you are, and not making that small and not making that quiet, and being really unafraid to talk about it, unafraid to share what it means to be queer, share what it means to be gay.
So Tikesha Morgan, she series of pronouns. I work in the Office of Internationalization and Equity. My title is Assistant Dean for Global and Equity Education, and I'm under the Division of Academic Affairs. We're dope as hell. We're different, we're unique. One thing I think around queer culture is it's not one thing, it's not a monolith. So we all identify in different ways. For me, I identify as a Black queer woman who can present androgynous. And when I say androgynous, because I think people think androgynous like, oh, she's kind of like a soft tomboy. And I'm like, actually no, because I wear skirts and I do a little bit of it all. I wear makeup sometimes. It really depends on what I feel like that morning. So that true androgynous of like, I don't feel like I need to fall into a binary of what womanhood looks like or what manhood or masculinity looks like. So for me, that's what queerness looks like. That's what it feels like for me. And knowing that I have friends, especially within the queer community, who respect and love that about me, that you just don't know who or what you're going to get with Tikesha that day. Talking with students and working with them around, yes, they came here for the academics, but they also, the word on the street is that we are a safe and secure and affirming place to be. And I like to think that I've played a part in that with living out my truth in front of our students. I don't leave a piece of my identity at home to show up to Emerson College. My Blackness, my queerness, my womanhood all shows up. I'm of a certain age, I'm a Generation Xer. I've made the decision, I don't show up to spaces that I have to take pieces of myself away. If I have to, I shouldn't be there. And I will let that person know that then I shouldn't be there, because this is all of me. I do understand and know that my Blackness shows up first though, because when you see me, that's what people see first until they then find out or make an assumption around my sexuality. But understand that I don't show up in pieces. I don't say, let me take this queerness off and leave it on my Blackness or my womanhood, or what my womanhood looks like to me, because womanhood looks like something different for everyone. So I don't leave any of those pieces at home when I come here. It all shows up here, and I do feel like it has been appreciated, especially by our students. And I have some fabulous colleagues who I've known for years, who've never questioned or blinked an eye. I do think Emerson's one of those places you show up in your queerness and it's like, oh, I'm this, and people are like, and? And I love that about this institution.